Waiver wire winners heading into Week 13 for fantasy football. J.K. Dobbins suffered a knee injury in Week 12 and missed the entire second half. Gus Edwards should earn the bulk of the rushing work if Dobbins does miss time. Just last year, Edwards rushed for 810 yards and scored 13 total touchdowns. Romeo Doubs is in concussion protocol on a short week. Dontavian Wicks has finished weeks with 11.6, 24.8, and 13.8 fantasy points. Wicks has flashed with opportunity, and he should get another one in Week 13. Devon Vele, the rookie, 13.6, 10.6, and 14 fantasy points the last 3 weeks, a touchdown in Week 10, 66 and 80 receiving yards in Weeks 11 and 12. He's coming off of a 9-target game. It's a solid rookie-to-rookie connection with Bo Nix as the wide receiver 2 in Denver. Adam Thielen returned from injury in Week 12. He caught 3 passes for 57 yards. Last season, he finished with 137 targets, 103 catches, 1,015 receiving yards, and 13.6 fantasy points per game with Bryce Young. And Bryce Young looked solid against Kansas City in Week 12. Across the last 2 weeks, Matthew Stafford has finished with 27.8 and 19.22 fantasy points. Back in Week 8, he scored 24.76. 4 games over 290 passing yards, 2 games of 4 passing touchdowns, and 4 with multiple passing touchdowns. The Stafford to Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp connection looks great. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, back in Week 11, 2 catches for 87 yards on 4 targets, a touchdown, and 16.7 fantasy points. The week prior, 3 catches on 3 targets for 102 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 25.9 fantasy points. He's a dart throw as an upside flex, but as you can see recently, he's been worth it. And finally, Nick Westbrook-Ikhine, 4 weeks of double-digit fantasy scores across the last 5 weeks, 6 touchdowns scored across the last 7 games, 5+ targets in 3 out of 4 of his last games played. He's the wide receiver 2 in Tennessee with some major touchdown upside. You can pause this, but this is my full waiver wire priority list if all of these guys were available in my league. And it's cuffing season, so here are some running back handcuffs to consider adding and stashing, especially with the fantasy football playoffs getting closer and closer.